Let me tell you a little bit about me and where I came from, and I'd be willing to bet that I'm not unique. I was born on the Niantic State Farm in Connecticut in 1935, and I spent the first 2 years of my life there. Niantic State Farm then and now was a prison. When my mother came to Hartford, I came with her and spent the next 7 years living in Children's Village, which was called the orphanage by the people around it. And then I went to live with my mother for a while, but she got sick. And so I ended up living in Gray Lodge, which was a transitional place and enormously helpful to me. I'll never forget it. But from that, I graduated from high school, spent some time in the U.S. Navy, and met the most wonderful man. The smartest thing I ever did was marry that Scotsman. And I've been a middle-class mother ever since.
What amazes me about the mission of the Shelter for Women is that 120 years later, we're still focused on Augusta Williams' vision of 1889. She was saving girls' lives, and she was devoted to care and nurturing young women in our state, and that's what we're still doing.
The reason I've stayed with this Shelter for Women is because I have great compassion for them, and I understand how much abuse and neglect they've had all their lives. And I want to be able to help them as much as I can.
I was 16 years old, and my situation was I got kicked out of my other residential for a lot of bad behaviors I had. For example, AWOLing, like every day.
Staff at Gray Lodge and the Shelter for Women play various roles in the treatment of clients. The clinicians are responsible for designing the treatment plans, which details the goals and objectives that the clients will be working on while they're with us. Residential staff implement a lot of the treatment and daily interventions with the girls, and educational staff support us in our endeavors.
I think the greatest challenge that our girls face is just having confidence in themselves. Understanding that they do have the knowledge and the power to earn high grades and to be successful in whatever they wish to accomplish. It's that confidence in themselves that we really try to foster at the Gray Lodge School so that the girls can earn those grades that make them happy and smile and want to be successful when they leave us and go back to their public schools.
Recently I heard a quote that children in our care need our love the most when they're the least easy to love. And our staff does just that every day in our program. They give these children love and safety and care that they so desperately need and haven't had in their lives.
My hope for these girls in the future is that they can pursue any vocation that they want, that they would strive to go on to higher education, as we learn that the more education you have today, the better prepared you are to work in the society in which we live. And I hope that they will remember the opportunities that were afforded them by being residents of Gray Lodge or Allison Gill, and that they will reach back and help others.
Gray Lodge and Allison Gill Lodge represent a critical link for the children in our state who desperately need the care they haven't had. We're a critical link in what the Department of Children and Families does, and we've been around since before there even was a Child Welfare Bureau.
I've been involved with the Shelter for Women for about 30 years, both as a volunteer and as being on the board. I provided a legacy for the Shelter for Women because I'd like this care and attention to last more than 100 years or more.
There's a saying that says 100 years from now it will not matter how big a house you had, how much money you had in the bank, what kind of car you drove or what kind of clothes you wore. What will be important is that you make a difference in the life of a child.
Well, at first I was afraid to, be at Gray Lodge because I'm like, wow, I've never been with 18 girls. And so I thought, maybe this is going to be hard. I'm going to explode on someone first night. But I was ready to do what I had to do. And I've been through a lot at Gray Lodge. And I've turned it all around.